guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. We're back with Shane.
Matt.
Guys, we're back. It's good to have you back, Matt. We're back. Exactly. We're back with Secret Invasion, Season 1, Episode 5. Last time, Matt, we had what appears to be Talos dying.
Yeah, it's what it seems like.
Do you think he's really dead?
In all these movies, they somehow bring them all back to life somehow.
Well, okay, so to me, I look at it two ways. A, if he's dead, I don't like it. Personally, I don't think he should die yet for the story. I mean, he died breaking this window, saving this president that we've only seen on screen like once or twice for like a minute.
Now, is this the last episode or is the second last?
This is the second. This is the penultimate. So
okay.
Yeah, we won't have him for the finale. But I'll say this though: if he lives though, that means they're going to do 2 episodes in a row where they fake the audience out. Right? They had his daughter die, but she came back to life. They're gonna have him die. He's gonna come back to life.
But the difference between his daughter is she went into that little centrifugal spinny thing that gave her those superpowers, so she can come back to life, but he hasn't done any of that.
Maybe they'll spin it and say that he was actually the first Skrull to get superpowers. He was actually the one that started that program, and then it got shut down. You know, I'm just throwing shit out the top of my head now. You know what I mean?
Or maybe like she'll like drag his dead body, throw him in there, and bring him back to life.
That's actually a good idea. I literally didn't think about that.
Maybe, maybe not.
But if he's dead, is he dead? Or can you bring him back to life? Or do you have to have the power first? Guys, there's a fire alarm going off, but this is my parents' house. Welcome.
Fire alarms, screaming.
My Filipino mom's screaming up there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we also had what I thought, for the most part, was a really cool story, which is Fury and his wife.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah. No, I thought that was kind of the heartbeat of the episode. I really like that story. This show's getting some negative reception, and I think it's, you know, it's not like the best, not in my opinion, but I think it's really, really well written.
Nah, it's better than She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I didn't see Miss Marvel.
I mean, Miss Marvel wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
I actually heard Miss Marvel was okay.
I actually enjoyed Miss Marvel, but I did not enjoy She-Hulk at any way, shape, or form.
I know you didn't. Now, I reacted and reviewed that. Yeah, I don't want to say I hated it, but you know, I thought it could have been better.
It was definitely their weakest.
Yeah, and Daredevil, I thought I only watched the first episode of the show, but I know people who were Daredevil fans.
I love Daredevil, all 3 seasons.
Yeah,
and when they did the Defenders or whatever that was.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that stuff.
I loved all that.
Yeah, I heard it was really good, but I heard a lot of people felt like they didn't give Daredevil justice in that show, kind of. She-Hulk.
Oh, She-Hulk, yeah, they didn't do him very well.
Like he didn't do much, and he was kind of toned down.
He was just her plaything.
Now, I don't want to get into all the shows and ranking them. Maybe we'll get to that eventually. No, I like this show. I think the dialogue's really good. I definitely think it could be boring to kids. If you know, because the viewership is down and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not super like exciting, you know. It's just kind of slow pace.
It's kind of like Andor.
Yeah, and it's got its moments.
It has its moments, yeah. But I think one of those moments were the last episode when it came to the relationship between him and his wife.
I can't remember. Did he leave her? Or did they part ways?
Well, they both.
I literally just watched it last week and I can't remember.
No, okay. So they both shot each other and missed on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And they both kind of acknowledged, hey, we can't kill each other because we love each other.
Right, okay.
And he's like, I don't know if we should get our vows renewed or divorced.
Yeah, that's okay. Now it's coming back.
So I think he just kind of left and I think he understands that now she's going to be hunted by the Skrull government, you know. It's
crazy to see how like far they're into the NATO and the U.S. government and everything.
Yeah,
sneaky fuckers. Could you imagine you find out like your wife was like literally an alien, and you had no clue the whole time?
Yeah, so I don't know the moment that he found out because the show hasn't showed us. Yeah. But I imagine...
Or he might have known the whole time.
When's the best way to find out? Is it like in the beginning, or is it like after you fall in love with her?
I feel like the beginning.
But would you fall in love with her, though?
I mean, as long as she doesn't transform back to that green nastiness. Just forbid her from changing back.
And why wouldn't she just not look like Tyra Banks? Actually, I will say this.
Could you imagine like mid banging her and she just turns in that green thing?
Like, yeah.
And you're just like, oh!
Yeah, that would be...
That'd be a freaking boner killer and a half right there.
I know this show is trying to break down kind of like... Because here's the thing. Biologically and for so many other reasons, I think it'd be very hard to fall in love and have a good relationship with anyone of a different species. Okay.
I mean, you gotta be physically attracted to whoever you're with.
Yeah, first for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it's got to start.
Yeah.
You can't just walk.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't just walk and be like, oh, that person's ugly, but I'm just gonna make it work just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. So I will say there's a beauty to the story. I mean, despite their differences, and despite that, Fury said in the first or the second episode when they were on that train ride, and he was like, "We cannot get along. We can't get along with each other." But in his private life, he's actually married to one of them.
Right.
To me, I think that's almost the key of the show, was the love between a human and a Skrull. Like, that's got to do something. Because I think...
Yeah, because once you get a point to where you like really care about somebody, like, looks don't necessarily like matter anymore.
Yeah, they don't matter as much,
right.
For sure. I mean, like, I'm glad Joy's still hot, but, like... I'm just saying, like, that's good. I don't want to say anything else.
Right.
Guys, before we jump in, if you want to support this channel, first of all, just leave a comment. We appreciate you guys. Say hi to Matt. Make sure you follow his socials. I'll have it in the description. Also, you can go to our Patreon. We have this full-length uncut reaction on there. We also have 4-week early access for our non-live shows. So now, let's jump in.
Who's leading the science?
I like the villain. I feel like there's this...
Which, the guy?
Yeah. There's like this intense, I grew up hating humanity look to him, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I care.
Dude, I just watched this episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that had Don Cheadle when he was like 23.
I'm dealing with my own infiltration at the moment.
He is one of Will's best friends from Philly that comes to visit. It's not Jazz, it's just...
Oh, one of his random buddies.
One of his random buddies that come up, and he is so different.
That guy's kind of creepy.
You know how I feel? I feel like after being and living with humanity for so long, you would just understand that they're just not this insidious group. They're just a group, right?
I've lived with humanity for almost 36 years, and I got nothing good to say about it.
I know, but you know their goal to eradicate humanity, for them to take over the planet.
I mean, that's
blowing up, like...
That's the goal of our own species. Is to eradicate all of humanity.
Polarizing viewpoints, yeah.
You should be proud, G. Talos is finally...
What? Dead? Our target was the president, and he's still alive.
We don't know that yet.
No, but what we know is our war is yet to be set in motion.
You ordered Fury's death when you knew Varro would never do it. You had another chance to kill Fury today, and you didn't take it.
Because he has what we need.
Explain it to us. You told me Fury hid the Avengers DNA, but it wasn't in any of the locations you provided. And it makes me start to wonder, why shouldn't we?
Oh, that's like that Clay guy from a Batman. Ugh.
Yeah. Is that gonna make people...
Hagen's already had a voice. And none of you do. You're faceless. And the only reason Fury was on that motorway was because his traitor wife defied my direct order. Do you understand?
People gonna walk away from that. You know what? Shit, man, he's fucking going kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at his face.
We gotta remember, he came in the first episode.
Yeah, he's a newbie.
Yeah, so he's gonna
see that and think like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Change your plans. Keep Ripson alive. Make sure he knows it wasn't just the Russians who did this. It was the Russians with the help of Skrulls. Prove to him there are Skrulls living here in Russia. And that they must all be eliminated.
Private, have you lost your damn mind?
No. This is leverage, rather. Fury doesn't want to see World War III or to see innocent Skrulls die.
And if we don't get what we want?
Well, then we all do what we've prepared for. Sacrifice.
That's what I'm saying. So he's willing to kill Skrulls and humans.
To just get his agenda?
Yeah. I mean,
giving out classified information.
It sounds like he just wants to be a ruler, a dictator, a king. He doesn't care about humans or Skrulls. He just wants to be in charge.
I'm here now. You can go.
You must be out of your Skrull ass mind. You think I'm gonna let you get anywhere near the president?
Well, in order to out me, Nick, you're gonna have to kill me. And you don't want to kill me because you're not ready to die. The footage of you killing Maria Hill is gonna lead off every news program all across the hemisphere.
You didn't.
Oh, yeah. I did. I really, really did.
that was like a bitch hit too. Like...
Yeah, I gave him a little fuck you tap.
Consider this a preview, Nick. Because if you ever get within 100 yards of the president again, I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
Tell Gravik I'm coming for him.
100 yards is pretty close.
100, yeah, it's a football field.
Yeah, 100 square yard. That's like a block, almost, right?
Yeah, that's easily within shooting range.
She's in a mile.
And you've got to be a good marksman, but you can still kiss somebody with a bullet from a mile away.
Well, who was it? Supposedly killed Kennedy. What's his name again? Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of records how he was just a terrible shooter, but people can make that shot. His shot was, what? It was like half a mile. It was like really far, right?
Sonia Falsworth here to see you, sir.
Tell her I'm busy.
Don't mind me, I didn't see anything, I promise.
Sonia, what are you doing?
Politely asking the location of Dr. Rosa Dalton.
Have you lost your mind, woman?
Lost your mind.
Falsworth, what have you done?
Just showing Director Weatherby's true colours.
They had a clear shot, they'd shoot.
There it is. He's a scroll too.
The SIS has no official policy on killing Skrulls.
I feel like if they had a clean shot, they would have killed her anyways. Like,
Go a minute. You scared? Yeah, maybe a little.
Once he's awake, I'll send confirmation of the strike.
Yeah. Because you know what happens if you don't, right?
He got those superpowers. Because they know he's got the superpowers, right?
You know, he has at least one.
I'm nothing but a monster.
He's turned more into a tyrant than anything.
You figure with how he feels about humanity and Skrull that he couldn't stand to be in non-Skrull form most of the time, you know?
Right. It's probably just easier for them just to have a regular person sit there than have all that makeup on them.
Well, I know that I know that's the answer, but like I'm trying to can't come up with an in-universe reason.
They're just lazy.
Talos died.
You can stop there.
He died. On a foreign planet. On a foreign road. Nothing will come of it. I ran away from my father because I knew he would lose.
Talos chose the path of struggle. He did not lose. You cannot let grief paralyze you, Gaia. This is your time, now. What DNA did Gravik steal?
Only a few samples.
What was he looking for?
Something he called the harvest.
Harvest.
The harvest?
I have no clue what that is. The harvest. Is that like maybe like the DNA of all the
Take him to
superheroes or something?
Oh shit.
Don't worry about me. I'll put on a good face.
I like that face. It's a good face already.
Maybe she just needs
Finland, huh? What's in Finland?
She just needs a little chapstick, that's all.
I'm very good at being your bestie. I'm also devilishly good at being not your bestie. It's really just a matter of taste. Cake or death. Nigel's the one with his silencer pressed against the base of your skull. Ooh, there he is. Would you like to take a seat? Now start from the very beginning and don't miss out a damn decimal point.
She's great.
It really is a lovely laboratory.
I won't let her betray Gravik.
Males in my species are very similar. If they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. That's what all the podcasts are about.
All the podcasters?
That's a hell of a shot, man.
Hell what? Yeah, you know what? Like... That is unfortunate.
Theory said you could help me bury my father.
These Skrulls aided in that attack.
Yeah, I saw.
But the Skrulls are most definitely here. And they're working with the Russians. What you see on the screen is the Skrull compound. That's Russian soil. We have to neutralize this facility.
Strike on Russian soil. That means World War III.
I would rather us face a war than extinction, and that's exactly what a Skrull invasion will mean.
If you just blew up one compound,
I was wondering when you were going
and they were Skrulls, that'll rush it. Oh,
I'd like to think first.
I feel like any kind of military action on foreign soil was an act of war.
I thought you were a step ahead of me. Like raising the
it is, but it doesn't always lead to World War III.
I don't get what I want.
Your mama always said I was special.
Yeah, Mama was right.
Feel a lot better if we were on the helicarrier.
Yeah, that's been mothballed. A little bit like you should be. Oh, voila. Figured you might need that on the other side. You're welcome. Oh, and try and get a nap. You seem a little grumpy.
Okay.
They don't know the prayer.
I know it.
Sounds like she's speaking old Valerian there. In Game of Thrones.
I told him what kind of daughter says that to her father.
The kind that intends to make it up to him the next time she sees him. The last thing I said to Fury before the snap was if you keep spending all your time chasing aliens, you might lose the one you married.
He ever get lost watching you in your own skin?
That's none of your business.
I didn't mean to offend.
Of course you did. You're young. You think you know everything. But you don't know what it takes to build a life with someone else, to sustain it.
I thought she was gonna pick that thing and just bash her in the head with it.
No, you just think about what you would do.
When it comes to facing down
just
my
kidding.
executioners.
Well, you know that they know this had to be coming at some point. You figure they'd be ready for it.
Yeah, just
instead of just sitting there having their little girl talk.
Yeah.
Better hope to God those weren't the super ones.
I love Emilia Clarke. I heard she was really good as Sarah Connor in Genesis. I just heard the movie wasn't very good. I haven't seen it though.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was all right.
But I heard she was great though.
I mean, she was all right.
It's hard to beat Linda Hamilton.
It's nothing compared to the first couple.
He looks like a human who's wearing prosthetics, doesn't he? Doesn't he look funny?
Yeah, he's definitely got something on. Either that, yeah, there he goes, taking his face. Oh, it's Fury.
That's a hell of a thing.
$1 billion of research and development, and all the widow's veil can cloak is your face. What about the rest of you?
That's the newer version, not this one.
Huh? Never mind.
This what we're doing?
Yes, this is absolutely what we're doing. And last I checked, Britain and the US were allies.
Well, last I checked, Rhodey is a Skrull.
What?
And you said I'd lost my touch. Huh?
Why in God's name would Gravik want to blow up his own people?
Leverage. If I don't give Gravik the harvest, then Rhodey is going to incinerate the Skrull compound. Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the Battle of Earth, even Carol Danvers.
Oh, that's what they're trying to get.
Some were sent in.
Because, you know, she's the most powerful one.
Yeah, I know.
And I know how much you like that.
Nobody knew about
it. Wasn't that one of your favorite movies?
And the collectors.
Talk about after.
That was one of your favorite movies.
So you are responsible for all this?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Why do you think I came back?
Fury done fucked up again.
Fury, why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
You can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our asses. None of them have lived the life I have. None of them can defend the world the way I can.
No, that's just him being selfish in his ego. He could end this right now by calling the Avengers that. But he wants to do it his way.
If that ain't enough, maybe I am just dust.
No, he's a silly, stupid old man.
Why Finland?
Priscilla and I honeymooned here. Skrulls like the cold. Now you understand.
Yeah. I think emotionally it works really well. The episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so the reasons is like the same thing that happened in the roads. Like you don't if you get an Avenger involved and they get turned.
And now you're going to give it to him.
Exactly.
So what's so badass about his coat? The bulletproof? Come on. Oh, I do like that.
Sort of like
it's time.
The Dark Knight Rises. Coming out of retirement.
Good little... Guys, that was a reaction. This is our discussion review. What'd you think, dude?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought, like most of them, it's pretty good. I actually thought this was more than pretty good, though. I thought I liked it quite a bit. I won't say I loved it.
Yeah, you got to see, like, the tyrant side of Gravik, like how he doesn't really give a shit about his people.
Well,
he just wants power.
Let me push back on you there. I think he gives a shit about his people, but initially his goal was to get a planet for his people. Fury wasn't able to do that, so he said, "We'll take this one."
But now it seems.
And now he's like, "We'll take this one by force, even if I have to kill some Skrull, like a minority of Skrull, to help the majority of Skrull. He'll do it, no problem." And he's so convinced that he's right, he will kill you if you disrespect him in front of people because, hey, I'm right. I'm trying to help people. I mean, I'm trying to help our people. And if you disagree with me, then you're going against our people. So I'll kill your ass. And I'll kill other Skrulls to help.
Yeah, but what if all the Skrulls turned against him and realize that is he just gonna kill all of them that don't agree with him?
Well, that's a good question. I think every person has to come to they have to come to realize, like, am I doing this for me? Am I doing it for everyone else?
He's getting power hungry.
Yeah, I think he is getting power hungry, but I do think his ultimate goal is to make Skrull #1. I mean,
or make himself #1.
Yeah, well, I think that is a part of it. But he also said, "I do not matter. It's the Skrull." What did he say in the first episode? He said, "You are the purpose," and he said, "No, I'm not. It is the idea that we're fighting for." So he is committed to this idea, but I do probably think that he thinks he is the only one who's competent enough and fierce enough and brave enough. All these guys, like, I can't trust them.
Right.
It's like
he's starting to get a little paranoid, thinking they're all against him, and
yeah, it's like certain leaders in certain countries that we won't mention, but yeah, like they have a bunch. They surround themselves with yes man. They either imprison or assassinate people who disagree with them.
Anybody that doesn't agree with them, they just get killed or locked up.
Yeah, but I know some of these world leaders absolutely obsessively love and believe in their country.
Yeah.
But they also believe that I am the chosen one. So I need to be the one to do it. If you just go kill your ass because you don't know what's best for, you know. Right.
Fury, I can see his ego getting a little in the way of this one because literally all he'd have to call is Carol Danvers or Thor or any of them or all of them and put an end to this.
But my question is, what would they, besides going after Gravik?
That you cut the head off a snake.
Yeah, but then another pops up. So they're already in the government. If Gravik gets killed, you know, despite maybe how Gravik acted in this episode, if Gravik gets killed, they already have people in place to, like, someone else will go, all right, we'll carry on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but at least
like Don Cheadle's character, he's already right next to the president.
At least it'll buy him time, because if you kill Gravik, it can buy him time, you know, because they're just gonna have to regather, they have to refigure out a plan, and at least buy him time to, like.
I feel like the solution to this problem, narratively speaking, which is like not exactly what would happen in real life, but I think what would give closure to the story, because right now it's like they're giving us love. Like, it's about love. It's about a Skrull, any human, despite what this human said to Talos, like, hey, like, we can get along, and I fell in love with a woman, like, who's a Skrull. You know what I'm saying? The love between a daughter and a father, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be what Gravik hasn't shown. What our heroes have shown is he hasn't shown that love that he's fighting for. He hasn't shown that compassion. It's all motivated by hatred of humans.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and like the injustice of his growing up during wartime, which, you know, he was a kid, but as a kid he was probably 50 years old, you know, when they got to Earth.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the way they age.
Right.
So, like, and this is all written throughout the history. Like, people who grew up in those regimes, they grew up during war, like, they absolutely are a different type of people. You know what I mean? Like, what's really interesting about most great heroes and villain stories, like, what's the difference really between them? Like, most great hero stories are tragic. Most great villain stories are tragic.
Yeah, just one person decides to do good and the other person decides to do bad.
Yeah. So, you know, I actually really like Gravik quite a bit. Now, I do question, and I said this during the reaction, I don't know if it'll make it into the YouTube edit. You feel like the way Gravik is so hardcore about being a Skrull and his people, and the disgust he has about having to wear a skin, like a mask. Like, you figured he'd be one of those guys that every time he didn't have to wear a...
Yeah, anytime he was around his people, he just wouldn't wear the human skin.
Yeah, I almost feel like, yeah, he's the type of person that, yeah, no, I mean...
Why can't they figure out a way where they can all interact and where they don't have to wear, you know, because...
I think the idea is, like you said, it's a budgetary thing. You know, they just don't want to...
Yeah.
You know, we can either CG all these fucking people, which looks bad, or, you know, or we can just have like 75 people... go through 4 hours of prosthetics.
No, I meant, why can't the Skrulls exist with humans as who they really are?
Because the idea is they're not being who they truly are. Even if, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they don't believe they Skrull.
They think humans would not react real well as...
Yeah, like, because that was on the train cart when Talos, and they were... Which was also one of the best scenes when he was talking about growing up in the South and eating his mom's fried chicken, and they were on the black train cart,
right?
Which wasn't as nice, wasn't as air conditioned.
Yeah, but you see how as people grow and
you're right.
change. You know, they might have it hard at first, but I think eventually they can grow and build. You know, where they can just be who they really are.
Well, I think the idea is like maybe they don't want to have to go through their own Jim Crow era. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might not want to, they don't want to go through that shit. Like, you know, it might be good in a generation. Like, it took a while for this country to get its shit together.
Yeah, it took a few generations.
And maybe some people don't want to fucking wait a generation. You know what I mean? Maybe I want to live my
they'd rather just slaughter everybody and kill everybody?
No, I think Gravik does. And I think
and the rest of them I think the rest of them are seeing, you know, his flaws.
Yeah, because you know how people are. Like, you know, and this is a very small version of that. You have someone who... they have a certain belief system, and then they go to college and they become radicalized by the institutions. Like, growing up, and then his parents were killed. Fury, you know, said, "I will find you a planet," you know. And the only thing I'll say is this: their conception of time, you figured like this. It's only been 30 years, like that. I mean, that's kind of a long time, but you know, if they lived to 200 or 300 years old, then
then that's no time at all.
It's it's you know, it might be like 3 years. It might be like 3 or 4 years
compared to us.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because length of life doesn't always have a, you know, the relationship between like your longevity and your perception of time is different.
Right.
You could live a long time, but you might perceive time like me and you. The breath technology, the stuff he was using now was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen that. At least I don't remember seeing that in the show or in the movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. This is the first time I've seen it.
Also, so he was wearing a mask that completely changed his face. That was really cool. So I always get into this, and I don't know if I've done it with you, but CIA spy Andrew Bustamante.
Oh, yeah, I've watched a bunch of his stuff.
Dude, he's so fucking cool. But him and I don't want to say Jack Kirby. He was a spy that was for the Soviets. He was a sleeper spy on American soil. And he said in the 60s, and I know you haven't seen the Mission Impossible movies, but he said in the 60s that the masks that they use, he said they had those.
Damn.
But,
well, I mean, the government's got technology and stuff that we don't even know about.
Like, they're not made the same way. You haven't seen the movie, but they're made like they scan your face and this thing prints them.
Yeah.
I heard that they have like beyond Hollywood prosthetics.
Yeah.
That they can make you look like if you're white, they can make you look black.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
These movies have like a certain budget, but the military they don't really have a budget.
Yeah, they have a shadow budget. They have like
they just do whatever they want.
And we can fucking miscounter money now and just lose $1 billion, billions of dollars. And it's like, you want to tax me more?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're miscounting this much money? Whatever. Okay. So the funeral reminded me of like a Jedi funeral, which is obviously kind of like a Viking funeral.
Viking funeral, yeah.
Rhodes right now, dude, he's and I'm just trying to find plot holes. Like, how conducive is it for him to be close to the president? If Rhodes decided he wasn't going to be loyal to Gravik, he can just impersonate the president and act like the president and then start executing his will through the president.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He could literally just kill the president, take over his body.
Yeah.
And just do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, so it's just, I'm curious. I'm just kind of curious about that.
Why doesn't Gravik just do that? Like...
I don't know. I don't know, because if you're able to get this close to the president of the United States...
Yeah.
Then I feel like the other stuff seems small.
Because I feel like there wouldn't be much of a storyline if they just impersonated the president and just took over, and then that's the end of it.
Well, here's the thing.
It'd be like a two episode show.
They have established that to impersonate someone the right way, they need your memories, which means
that's right. They
need to capture the president
and
do all. So you could. That's a pretty good reason to why they don't do that.
Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot that they need.
Well, it's just if Rhodes is like close enough to where he has a relationship with the president, then I mean, like I've seen sci-fi things to where because of the idea that of prosthetics and like faking, you know what I mean, that there's like certain code words that the president knows that they ask you to make sure it's you. I don't know if that's really science fiction, but that could be. You know, something.
Yeah, because if they don't know it, then they know something's up.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if our current president would remember all this stuff. I don't know. Once again, pushing back on the idea that, like, calling in the superheroes. Like, A, they don't want to do that because they could potentially capture the superheroes and then impersonate them, whatever.
Yeah.
And B, I just don't know if coming down and kicking ass and killing Gravik is a solution. Like, they are within all the governments of the world now. I think it's going to be love. I think it's going to be, and I hope it's not cheesy, but I think it's going to be something to do with, like you said, they don't trust Gravik now. Like there's something there.
Do you think they're going to overpower him and everything's going to?
I think they're going to see that his way. It's like RFK. He testified in front of Congress. I just watched it. It's like a 5-minute thing, and he just talked about how his uncle, he passed more laws and he got more stuff done. You know why? It's because he reached across the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, and everyone respected him. He didn't resort to slight and smear campaigns and canceling and all that stuff. Like he just wanted, he truly believed in compassion and love.
Right.
That made me think that's what the theme of the show is going to be. That's how it's going to end. Like people are going to realize, hey, we can't do this.
Right.
Now they have to make it interesting though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's definitely going to end with all kinds of peace and love, and everyone's like seeing the flaw in Gravik, and everyone's gonna be hugging, holding.
And hands. I think there's a version of that is really interesting, and there's a version of that that's boring. So hopefully, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe fucking Carol Danvers does come down. You know,
just nukes everybody.
Yeah.